A massive skull with prominent brow ridges, discovered in Harbin, China, was kept hidden for decades. Scientists couldn't determine who or what it belonged to. Was it a Neanderthal, a Denisovan, or someone entirely different? Microscopic traces of organic material remained in the bones, allowing researchers to conduct an analysis of the ancient specimen, estimated to be around 150,000 years old, but it was only with the recent extraction of ancient DNA that the mystery started to unravel. And everything we thought we knew about early humans in Asia turned out to be incomplete. Why did this human live alongside our ancestors, yet never become one of us? Why did their kind disappear, leaving behind only this one skull? And what does their DNA tell us about ourselves? This film tells the story of the Dragon Man of Harbin, how a face found beneath a bridge has the power to change the way we understand who we once were, and who we truly are. In 1933, during the construction of a bridge over the Songhua River in the northeastern Chinese city of Harbin, workers uncovered an unusual skull buried in a sandy clay layer. It was heavy, nearly intact, and free from visible damage. Its size was significantly larger than that of a modern human. One of the workers, realizing the potential importance of the discovery, decided to hide it. At the time, the region was under Japanese occupation, and many feared that rare artifacts would be seized by the authorities. The man lowered the skull into an old well and never spoke of it again. The skull remained hidden for nearly 90 years. It wasn't until 2018, when the workers' descendants shared the story with scientists, that the artifact finally reached Heilongjiang University in Harbin. From that point, scientific study began in earnest. Anthropologists, geologists, and ancient remains specialists from China and around the world joined the investigation. Researchers quickly noticed that the skull's structure didn't match any known species of ancient humans. The name Dragon Man emerged because the skull had been found in the Songhua River Valley, which locals call the Dragon River. That name became the formal designation for the species, Homo longi, or man from the Dragon Valley. And with that, a new chapter began in the study of ancient human evolution in Northeast Asia. Once the skull was handed over to Heilongjiang University, detailed measurements began. Scientists recorded its length, width, cranial volume, the structure of the brow ridges, nasal cavity, and base of the skull. The brain volume was about 86.7 cubic inches, larger than that of most modern humans. The forehead was low and broad, the brow ridges were massive, yet the overall skull shape suggested a highly developed brain structure. Researchers compared the skull to Neanderthals from Europe and Western Asia, as well as to early humans from East Asia, including specimens from Dali, Jinyushan, and Zhaochangliang. The Harbin skull showed closer affinities to the Asian forms, but even among them, it stood out. It had flatter cheekbones, larger teeth, and a prominent nose, features suggesting adaptations to the frigid climate of northeastern China. Some traits overlapped with those of the so-called Denisovans, a mysterious group of archaic humans who once lived in Siberia and Tibet. This raised the possibility that the Harbin individual might have belonged to the same branch, or at least been a close relative. But not all anthropologists agreed. Some argued the skull represented a late variant of an archaic human resembling Homo erectus, while others believed it was something new altogether, an entirely separate lineage. The question of which species the Harbin human truly belonged to remained unresolved. That's why a genetic analysis was needed, to find out where this individual fits on the human family tree. To estimate the skull's age, scientists turned to multiple independent dating methods. Since the specimen had been hidden in a well for decades and lacked a precise archaeological context, researchers analyzed the sediments and dust that clung to the bone's surface. By examining the elemental composition and oxygen isotope ratios, they determined that these deposits had formed roughly 146,000 years ago. Further uranium-thorium dating, conducted at laboratories in Beijing and Oxford, confirmed the age range to be between 138,000 and 152,000 years. That places the Harbin individual squarely in the middle of the late Pleistocene, a time when Neanderthals, Denisovans, and early Homo sapiens were already walking the earth. Back then, the climate in northeastern China was cold and arid. Grasslands and sparse forests stretched along the Songhua and Amur rivers. It was the kind of environment where large herbivores could thrive: bison, horses, rhinos, even mammoths. The heavy brow ridges, wide nasal cavity, and robust teeth of the Harbin skull suggest a person well adapted to the brutal Ice Age conditions of the region. This means that this human species lived at the same time as other ancient humans across Eurasia. But in the far northeast corner of the continent, that makes the Harbin skull a crucial piece of the puzzle for understanding early human migration patterns in East Asia and the possibility of contact between different groups. Once the team had estimated the age, they turned to the most important question of all: who was this person? The morphology offered clues, but not certainty. That's why a joint team from Heilongjiang University and the Institute of Paleoanthropology in Beijing set out to do the nearly impossible: extract remnants of ancient genetic material. It was a daunting task. The bone had lain buried for over 100,000 years, and after its discovery, it had been stored for decades without any control over temperature or humidity. In 2023, scientists employed a new method for extracting ancient DNA from the densest part of the temporal bone. This area is particularly well protected from decay and often preserves traces of ancient cells. To ensure accuracy and eliminate the chance of contamination, the genetic analysis was carried out simultaneously at multiple labs in Beijing, Copenhagen, and Leipzig. Eventually, researchers managed to recover short fragments of ancient genetic code, enough to compare against existing databases of early human DNA. The comparison revealed that the Harbin individual was genetically closer to a group known from discoveries in the Altai Mountains and the Tibetan Plateau than to either Neanderthals or Homo sapiens. At the same time, the Harbin DNA showed unique characteristics not found in any other known ancient lineage. Scientists concluded that this person represented a separate evolutionary path, possibly a late offshoot of the same ancestral line that gave rise to Denisovans and some early Asian populations. The DNA analysis also revealed that this population had adapted to extreme cold, developing biological traits that helped them survive in harsh Ice Age conditions. These findings were consistent with paleoclimate reconstructions for northeastern China during the mid-glacial period. For the first time, genetic research offered a precise place for the Harbin individual on the human family tree. He wasn't just a variant of a known species. He belonged to a distinct, previously unknown lineage that existed in Asia. At the same time, Neanderthals lived in Europe, and early Homo sapiens emerged in Africa. The results of the DNA and morphological studies prompted scientists to rethink how we classify ancient humans in East Asia. In 2021, a team of Chinese anthropologists proposed that the Harbin discovery represented a separate species, Homo longi, which translates as man from the Dragon Valley. The decision was based on a combination of traits never before seen together in any known human species. Researchers believe Homo longi was related to Denisovans and may have shared a common ancestor with them, but evolved independently in East Asia. It's possible this group existed for tens of thousands of years, isolated from the populations to the west and south. This could explain why traces of their genetic legacy still show up in some regions of Asia and Oceania today. The The discovery of Dragon Man made one thing clear. During the Pleistocene, multiple human lineages coexisted across Asia. Some of them may have interacted, exchanging tools, culture, and even genes. The Harbin skull serves as powerful evidence that human evolution isn't a straight line. It's a complex web of overlapping branches, many of which remained hidden until now. Our understanding of how the Dragon Valley people lived comes from fragments of evidence found across East Asia from the same era. Although no tools or campsites were found directly alongside the Harbin skull, other archaeological sites of similar age give us glimpses into what life for his kind might have looked like. Homo longi likely lived in small, close-knit groups bound by family ties. They settled near rivers and lakes, places where fresh water, fish, and game were easier to find. Their camps were probably temporary, moving with the seasonal migration of animals. To shield themselves from the cold, they used mammoth hides, bones, and branches to build simple shelters. Fire was a crucial part of daily life, used for warmth and cooking, as evidenced by hearth remains found at other late Pleistocene sites in northern China. Their diet was based largely on the meat of large herbivores, supplemented by foraged foods like nuts, berries, and tubers. Stone tools found in the same geological layers show that they had mastered the technique of flaking sharp-edged blades. These tools were likely used to butcher animals, process hides, and work with wood. It's also possible they crafted basic spears tipped with stone points. The brain capacity of Homo longi was comparable to that of modern humans, suggesting a capacity for advanced behavior. They probably had basic speech, which would have allowed them to share knowledge and skills with younger members of the group. Coordinated hunting and group cooperation were likely essential to their survival in the harsh, glacial climate. It's unlikely that Homo longi lived in total isolation. Their groups may have come into contact with other ancient human populations in East Asia, sharing knowledge and perhaps even interbreeding. These interactions formed part of the complex web of relationships that would eventually shape the ancestry of modern people in the region. So, the Dragon Man wasn't just a rare species. He was part of a resilient community of hunters and gatherers who adapted to the demanding landscapes of the North and endured for tens of thousands of years. Their way of life is a powerful reminder that human survival has always depended not just on strength, but on cooperation, keen observation, and the ability to adapt to the world around us.